certain ones that I don't even have to say, this is Dawn, and I'm calling from store to door, checking in. I don't have to say it anymore. It's just, hi, how are you? Oh my gosh, we haven't talked. And I continue volunteering with store to door. These people that I talk with on Friday have become my friends. I am an accounting manager at Umpqua Bank. I have been with Umpqua Bank for 25 years, just a week ago. So just recently, been there a long time. I work in Roseburg, down near where Umpqua Bank was originally founded. But my team is spread throughout Oregon and Washington. I'm 100% remote, work from home now. Well, my husband and I are recently empty nesters. So our kids are all in college. We have 2 daughters, and then we have 2 sons that we hosted for their senior years. One's from Spain and one's from Brazil. People always say, now, did you adopt them? And I'm like, no, their parents just share them with me, and I get to call them my sons also. AFS is very popular in the Roseburg area down here in Southern Oregon. They had just wonderful kids that we got to know. When our oldest daughter was in school, she said, hey, what do you think about hosting? And we're like, And we thought, what a great time for her senior year. So each of the girls got to graduate with a brother. So we have perfectly spaced between our children. We have Jorge in between and Fernando, our youngest. So it was just really fun, and we love it. We got to go back to Spain and visit Jorge right after he left. We have not been to Brazil yet. He's the youngest one. But we did bring his mom here for Christmas, this last Christmas. And so that was pretty cool because she hadn't seen him since Christmas 2019. So that was pretty special. 3 of those 4 children are soccer players. So we travel a lot for soccer. The youngest 2 now play collegiate soccer. So we travel to watch their games. And then I like to scrapbook. I'm a big scrapbooker, so I like to scrapbook the kids' memories. Not so much in the summer. In the summers, I like to lay on my patio and read a book and relax. My first connection with Store to Door was another associate at Umpqua Bank had shared the story of being a friendly caller. I reached out to Bev at Umpqua Bank and just asked her how it worked and what she did, and connected with Store to Door. It was a little interesting at first, kind of trying to navigate what you do and what you talk about. But now they've all become like my aunts or my uncle or my grandmother or my, college friend. I mean, they're just all people that I've never seen their faces, which we always giggle about, that unless we talked, we wouldn't recognize each other on the street. Volunteering quickly becomes something we stop doing to give back, and we start doing because we like it, because we get so much from it. I get a lot from volunteering. That was my original connections with Store to Door, but they've just become friends. I mean, I have some clients that they want it to be brief. So they have such a smile, I say, in their voice. It's shocking if you smile while you're talking, people can hear it. And that's what one of my callers is. It's always a brief conversation, but she always has the most witty responses of, I wish I had some of them off the top of my head to remember. I told her it was my job to come up with some because she always has them, but I'm doing better today than I was yesterday, or, she just always has these short ones, but she's always pretty brief and just, you have a great weekend. I'll talk to you next Friday. It stops becoming about me checking on their groceries and did their order come in. Those are kind of the filler we have just in case. It's really, truly, how have you been? Who do I look forward to talking to the most? It's hard to say because they're all so unique and wonderful. But I do have to admit, I save a couple for the end because the conversations go longer and they are my favorites. My volunteer time at Umpqua Bank that I'm afforded during the workday is wonderful, as it's between 8 and 5, Monday through Friday. So Store to Door fits into that really well. I have had some other volunteer opportunities start to pop up. But again, Store to Door is just, has become really special to me, and that, I don't want to give it up. I really like everybody and like what I'm doing. So some things like that really hit home, that you're like, realizing it's more than just chatting, that to some of these people, this is maybe the only conversations they're having with somebody other than a counselor or a doctor or a dentist, or the store-to-door grocery delivery, which they brag about those people to no end. So how much they come to love the people that come to their door, that bring their food to them. So there's just a lot of really special, unique items. COVID, the pandemic, has changed all of us, and we've all had to kind of pivot and shift and rethink how to function in our day-to-day, and then just rethink what's important. And I think that's where store-to-door, and I feel a strong connection with the Friendly Caller program because that's what I do, but it's where we're able to help others navigate through all of this who have nobody else to come back home and drive them crazy with their shoes being left out in the house when you realize maybe I didn't miss my children that much. But I think that's the great part about store-to-door is it worked even with COVID. There was just so many things it could continue to do. It almost, in my mind, became even more valuable because of the connections, even with a mask and 6 feet apart, maybe when those groceries are being delivered and dropped off, just the help there and the communication to the callers about, where they can get vaccinated, or is it right for them, or when we had the crazy snowstorms, and making sure they were all okay, or when it got hot and they weren't air conditioned, did they have water? I mean, those kinds of things that I think transcend the traditional volunteering.